All right guys, one of our latest builds we've done has just come back in for a last few finishing touches. We've got some switches to sort out and a few little bits and pieces that we just want to clean up and just button up and have it all ready to go. So this is a complete build, start to finish, by us here at Solve Off-Road. It came in stock and we painted the whole picture out with the customer. It spent a few months on getting it right because the customer had a few little bits and pieces he really wanted to sort of nail. This isn't a portal build like you do see a lot of from here, but it is everything else but, I must admit. It's pretty cool. If you wanted an awesome Aussie tourer, really good tow rig, and you wanted to be heavy and get that GVM, this is the one for it. All right, so what's on the shopping list on this truck? It's a long one, so I will probably forget something and come back to it, so forgive me, but we'll just roll with what we can see in front of us. As always, rock solid tray and canopy, probably one of our first choices. Awesome quality, awesome setup, interior setup in them is really nice and really neat, but an awesome workhorse tray too, which is what this customer wanted. He wanted a little bit of a mix. He wants to use it for a little bit of work and a little bit of play later on. So rock solid tray and canopy. 300mm chassis extension puts our tray at 1950. Not a 300mm longer tray, but a really nice tray package to make sure we get our weight and everything sitting really well in the car. Awesome access to the tow bar because the customer does do a lot of towing. 35-inch tyres, the 4499 GVM on there with 2.5-inch Fox remote res DSCs, all done as an SSM. So now this whole package here is as it rolls out with stock 35-inch tyres. So it's a really nice setup, and it's nice to have it done straight out of the box as if it's meant to be that way. So another really cool feature, it's got the long range fuel tank in there from Brown Davis, giving it another 150 litres, 130 litres I think, because that long range fuel tank, we can actually add the 300mm extension into that as well. So giving us even more capacity again. Brown Davis do a few options to that, it's really cool. All right, so up front we have the ATD Customs bar, awesome bit of gear. We've got it paired up there with a Warn Evo 10. Another simple, really cool setup. As you can see, we have not put the control box for that winch is hidden away. We've got it buried up underneath the bar there, and we've got a winch controller mount somewhere else, so it's all tidy and hidden. It's not hanging out the front, not exposed or anything like that. The twin ATD rails into the side steps, same sort of thing. Super strong, super tough stuff. This stuff really is built. If you're going to find Skippy, this is the bar you want. So as you can see, we've set this one up with a Enerdrive Adventurer pack. This sucker has every single thing you need really. It's going to cover all your bases. 2000 watt inverter, AC charging, 40 amp DC charger, plus you can keep an eye on everything. You've got built-in switches, you've got ports for power, the whole lot's sort of covered. So really simple setup. This one here has a 300 amp hour BTEC Slim up the back there from Enerdrive also. So it's a nice matching system, easy to get in and easy to wire up. And we love them because they just really seem to work. Yeah, once you get them in, and you can play around with settings and get things to work how you want, but they work really well, they're quite simple, and they're just a great system to really sort of tick off everything and have it pre-done. So they're a nice setup. All right, so looking at the rear end, always love a nice rear end. We got twin carriers on the back for the 35s, which tuck in really nice. We've got, as we would always advise and always pick, and you see them on pretty much every cruiser we build, the Marks high clearance tow bars. These things are awesome. They cover everything you need in here. That's for towing. They also put the tow position, the hitch into a really good position. You're not too far out. You're not buried up underneath. You got load rated recovery points that are good for soft shackles. These cover everything you want in a tow bar pretty much. So back to the 12 volt stuff, we've actually got switching on both sides for lights on door and on the inside. That makes it nice and simple, very neat sort of switching setup. It's just tidy and simple. Something else you'll see here, there's little switches that we have on both the canopy doors. We use these for a couple of things. I like to use them for switching the lights on and off, so you don't have to worry about turning them on and off. It just automatically happens. But what we've actually done with this one is we've got a handbrake alarm in there. So what will happen is if you leave the door open and start the vehicle, the alarm's going to go off and warn you that your door's open. That will save you a heap of money because ripping off a door can do a lot of damage. I've actually done it. I'm lucky I had a rock solid canopy, so while it might have dinged up the door a bit, my Canopy survived without a problem, but it was one of those things. I wish I had the door alarm. So cool little option, something to think about, guys, when you are building your canopies, if you can get something, a system in there for it. These are really, really tidy. There's no silly little buttons. They work off the strut, fully adjustable. They work really well. And it just warns you in the cab that the door's open, don't drive away and rip it off. So something that may stand out, may not. It's a little bit inconspicuous sometimes. Is 300mm chassis extension. I rave on about them. I talk about them all the time, and every customer probably gets sick of me telling them that their 79 needs it. But once you get heavy, I want this back axle underneath the weight of the car and really, really doing its job. Less pivot, less weight back there, less ability to lift that front suspension up and get the steering a bit light, especially when you're towing. Massive, massive difference. And you'll notice that once you do that 300mm stretch with the rock solid tray and canopy, you get a pretty decent box here. It's not massive, but it definitely is a good sized box. It kind of fills the gap, really finishes everything off. But you know, my ones are these, they're trockers, so it's really handy. Okay, like I said, I knew I'd get something wrong. I did say the suspension was a 2-inch, it's actually the 3-inch lift in this one. 3-inch GVM, choice of a few different rear spring options depending on what we're doing, but we can also match that up with the all important Fox 2.5 remote res DSCs. That really does top it off. I think once you put that package together, you spend some time on the road, you spend some time towing, you use the dials, you use those knobs to really sort of fine tune what you want, you'll love them. They work really well, they're super reliable. They're going to outlive the car, and that's saying a lot because this is 79, so they'll go a long way. So really cool. As I said, 3-inch SSM suspension kit with a 4499 GVM straight out of the box. Easy, simple, works well, ticks every box other than the Portal one, obviously. But I think if you're looking for something that's heavier, I think this is your setup.